Hey guys, so today I'm going to be filming my summer makeup must-haves for 2015. I have so many products to share with you today. I'm going to be featuring products for the eyes, cheeks, lips, and nails, and I really love summer makeup. I'm obsessed with coral, so I try to incorporate that in pretty much everything. So I am going to have all of the items listed and linked down below. I'm going to swatch as many things for you as possible. Unfortunately, I will be showing some products that were limited edition or discontinued, and I'm sorry if that upsets any of you, but these are products that I still plan on rocking this summer, and if you have them in your collection, maybe it will remind you to bring them out and rock it this season. So check the description box for all of the information, and now getting started with the eyeshadows. So the eyeshadow category is probably the category with the least amount of products. I really focus a lot on cheeks, lips, and nails in the summertime, especially the cheeks, but I do have some shadows I picked out that I really want to rock this summer. I have one cream, 4 singles, 1 quad, and a palette. So starting with the cream shadow, that would be Maybelline Color Tattoo in Bad to the Bronze. I'm wearing it on my lid today. This is the most beautiful bronze color. It almost has a little bit of a cool undertone to it. This is not a warm tone bronze whatsoever, but the formula of these are really incredible. They're very smooth and pigmented and long lasting. I'm wearing it on my lid today. I think that in the summer I'm going to be wearing this kind of look a lot, rocking one of my single shadows on my lower lash line and the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Bad to the Bronze on my lid. This gives a really nice smoky look for the daytime with just this one shadow on its own, so I really do love that color tattoo. And here is a swatch of Bad to the Bronze. So now moving on to my 4 singles. They are all from ColourPop. The first shade I have here is Animal, which is a pressed pigment. This is a neon coral with an intense gold flash to it. And here's a swatch of Animal. The next shade I have is Ibiza, and this is a pearlized finish, a beautiful turquoise shade with a gold and silver flash to it. And here's a swatch of Ibiza. So my last 2 ColourPop shadows actually came out in their summer collection, so I found that it would be most fitting to wear them in the summer. So the first shade I have is Nillionaire, which is a bronze shade with a ton of purple and green shimmer in there. It's really pretty. This is a metallic finish. And here is a swatch of Nillionaire. The shimmer in here is more like glitter. You may have some fallout with this shade. It is the most chunky of all of them. My last ColourPop shade is what I'm wearing on my lower lash line today, and this is Coconut. This is a beautiful deep blue, has some navy tones to it, but also some green. It's like a navy teal color, and this is a pearlized finish. It is stunning, and here is a swatch of Coconut, and it is what I'm wearing on my lower lash line today. So now for my quad, I have a Maybelline Eye Studio Plush Silk Quad in the shade Irresistibly Ivy. This was a discontinued color for some strange reason, but I love the formula of these quads. They are super pigmented. Unfortunately, most of the shades are metallic or shimmer, so you will have to add in your own matte shades, but this is what it looks like. A beautiful cream, a nice warm goldeny copper shade, a beautiful green with an intense gold flash to it, and a warm chocolate brown. So I really love this, and I have the shades swatched right here. And I filmed a look last year using this quad, so I will link that tutorial for you guys, and I will try to find a link for this online so you can purchase it. My last eye product is a palette, which would be the Urban Decay Naked Original palette. So this is definitely one of my most neglected palettes. I don't know why I don't reach for it, because the formula of the shadows are great, and I do like warm tone shades, but I guess I have other warm tones that I prefer. But I think that I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of this in the summer. That is the only time I reach for this palette. I know I'm going to be using a lot of Naked, Buck, Half Baked, and Smog, and maybe some of Dark Horse as well. So now I want to move on to the cheek products, starting with bronzers and highlighters. So because I do have quite a few bronzers, contours, and highlighters in my collection, I have designated a particular one for each season to make sure that they are all getting used and getting an equal amount of love. So starting with the bronzer, the bronzer I have picked out to use this summer is the Bourjois Chocolate Bronzer in the shade number 51. This is my most warm tone bronzer, so the only time this is going to work for me is in the summer. I'm actually using it today to warm up the perimeter of my face, and it actually does not look too warm on my skin, which is good because it looks mighty orange in the pan. This also has a nice scent to it, which is a cute little bonus. And here is a swatch of the Bourjois Chocolate Bronzer in number 51. So the contour powder I have picked out for summer is the Sleek Contour Kit in Light. Sleek contour kits are incredible. They have a light, medium, and dark shade. If you are a very deep complected person and you are looking for a contour product, look no further than the Sleek Contour Kits, because the shade in the deep contour kit is very, very deep, which is amazing because I know it is really, really hard for deep skin girls to be able to find contouring and bronzing products that actually work for their skin tone. So definitely check out the Sleek Contour Kit. This is a UK brand, but you can get it shipped to the US. Shipping, I think, is actually only $4. It just takes a little bit longer to get here, so definitely recommend this. It's a beautiful matte contour shade, which I have swatched right here. This also has a bit of a warm undertone to it, but on my skin it shows up a bit more of a neutral undertone, but it is a beautiful shade, a really great formula. And I forgot to mention the Bourjois is a matte bronzer as well. So in the summertime, people tend to reach for a lot of cream products. I am someone that does not really like cream products, so the closest I will get would be the products from ColourPop that have that moussey texture. So ColourPop just came out with 6 brand new bronzers, and I have 2 of them here, and I am planning to try these out this summer and see what I think of the formula and find the perfect brushes and whatnot. I will have a review on the bronzers and the highlighter, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, I did buy one of the satin shades and one of the matte shades. So the first shade I have is a satin finish, and this is in Paradise Cove, and that would be this swatch right here. This is a nice light color that works really well for my skin tone. The shimmer is really beautiful, and it doesn't show up like too much shimmer on your face. It just gives a nice glow. And the matte shade I have is Skinny Dip, which looks like this. This is a really great color for my skin tone as well. Skinny Dip and Paradise Cove are the second and third lightest shades in this range. So here is a swatch of Skinny Dip, another really great matte product. So I will most likely be wearing these together with the Satin Finish Paradise Cove to bronze the outer perimeters of my face, and then the Skinny Dip Matte Finish to contour. So now moving on to highlighters. The powder highlighter I have picked out for this season is a highly coveted product, and that would be the Estee Lauder Heat Wave Pure Color Gelee. So the formula of this is very similar to the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish formula because it feels like a gel that has dried down to a powder. Very, very pigmented and extra metallic, which I love. Because I am so fair, it's really hard for highlighters to show up on me unless they're super metallic. So I have that swatched right here, and there are actually a ton of dupes for this product. I will insert a picture I saw on Instagram that had so many dupes for this. There's a dupe from Mally, from Laura Geller, from Wet n Wild. So even though that particular Estee Lauder Heatwave highlighter was a discontinued limited edition product, you can still get very, very similar colors from other brands. So like I said, I will insert that picture for you guys. And my last 3 highlighters are all from ColourPop. Like I said, I do not like straight cream products, but I really do love the ColourPop formula. That is as close to cream as I will get. So I do have 3 of the highlighter shades. The first one I have here is Stole the Show, and this is a white gold. And right here is a swatch of Stole the Show. The next shade I have is Smokin' Whistles, which is a pinky champagne shade. I really love that color. It is really flattering on my fair skin tone. So this is Smokin' Whistles. And the last shade I have is Wisp, which is a lighter bronzy gold. And this is a little bit deep for my skin tone, but I can definitely make it work. And this last swatch here is of Wisp. So now moving on to blushes, I have 12, which I'm actually quite happy about because since there are 3 months in summer, I can devote 4 blushes to each of the 3 months so that they will all get some love for me, which I'm really excited about. So all of these are different varieties of pink corals and peach corals. Those are my favorite blushes in general, but especially to rock in the summertime. And I do have two blushes from the drugstore. The first one is Sonia Kashuk Melon, which is a beautiful matte melon pink coral shade, very pigmented and blendable. This has been a holy grail blush of mine for years. And here is a swatch of Sonia Kashuk's Melon. Next, I have a blush from Essence that was part of a limited edition collection. This is the Beauty Beats blush from the Justin Bieber collection in the shade Groupie at Heart, which is a beautiful warm pinky berry color. I really, really like this one. It is intensely pigmented. So here is a swatch of Essence Groupie at Heart. So then I have 7 MAC blushes. 2 of them are part of the permanent range, and then I do have 5 limited edition blushes. So I will go over the permanent shades first, and I have these both in pan form. And the first one I have is Melba, which is a beautiful peach shade. This is really pretty on fair skin tones and medium tan skin tones, even though it is light and peachy. If you are a deep skin tone, this might be a bit chalky on you, especially because this is a matte finish. So here is a swatch of MAC's Melba. The other shade I have is Fleur Power, which is a satin finish, but it performs just like a matte. It performs the exact same as MAC's Melba. And this is a pink coral. And this would work for a lot more skin tones because it isn't as light as Melba is. So here is a swatch of MAC's Fleur Power. Both of those are insanely pigmented. You have to be really careful when applying them and use a duo fiber brush. So then I have 5 MAC limited edition blushes, which are my one true vice, and all of these I believe came out in different summer collections. So the first one I have is MAC Hipness, which was recently re-released in the Wash and Dry collection, so hopefully a ton of you were able to get it. This also came out in the To The Beach collection and the Foffi collection years ago when I was never interested in MAC, so I'm glad I was able to finally get it now. This says it is a frost finish, but both in the pan and on the skin it shows up as a satin finish, which I'm really happy about because satin finishes are my favorite from MAC. And this is a beautiful watermelon pink. It does have a little bit of warmth to it, but it definitely is quite different from Fleur Power. It isn't as coral. This is a watermelon pink, really pigmented and pretty. So here is a swatch of MAC Hipness. My next blush is MAC Fleet Fast, which came out in the Hey Sailor collection of summer 2012. This has a satin finish, and this is a peachy pink shade with a neutral tone base to it, which makes this perfect to pair with any eye or lip color. And here is a swatch of MAC Fleet Fast. As you can see, it does have those nice neutrally undertones to it as well, which makes it super wearable. The next shade I have is Ripe for Love, which is another satin finish that came out in the Temperature Rising collection summer 2013, and this is a deep burnt peach shade. I absolutely love this, especially when I'm my most tan, because it does do that natural effect of a slightly sunburnt cheek, which is so beautiful, except it takes on more of a peach tone than it does a red tone, but it is so beautiful. And I have that swatched right here. So again, that is Ripe for Love. My next blush is Peaches and Cream, which is also a satin finish. This was released in the Sharon Osbourne collection, which was summertime 2014, and this is a beautiful pinky rose shade. Again, very pigmented and gorgeous. So here is a swatch of MAC Peaches and Cream. And my last MAC blush is from the Simpsons collection. This is in the shade Sideshow You, which is another satin finish. And as you can see, the size comparison, it is a lot bigger than a regular powder blush. This is the size of a mineralized skin finish or of a beauty powder. And this is a neon peach, which is one of my favorite colors to wear on my lips and on my cheek. And here is a swatch of MAC Sideshow You. And lastly, I have 3 more blushes, 2 from Tarte and 1 from theBalm. So the first blush I have from the Tarte did come out in a holiday collection in I believe 2012, but it was re-released in a Black Friday set last Black Friday. So this did come out again recently, so maybe you guys were able to pick it up. This is a matte blush, and this is a pinky coral. So right here is a swatch of Tarte Magic. The other Tarte blush I have is Tipsy, which is a corally orange shade. This is as close to orange as I will get. And the Tarte blushes are a bit more of a harder texture, so you can be a little more heavy-handed with those than you can be with a MAC blush. But here is a swatch of Tarte Tipsy. The last shade I have is from theBalm. This is Hot Mama. Very similar to Nora's Orgasm, Max Petal Power, Mineralized Blush, Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink, NYX Pinch, all of those type of shades. This is a peachy pink with an intense gold shimmer to it. And I love the one from theBalm the best. I love the formula of this. It is so smooth and pigmented and very, very, very shimmery. So if you do not like shimmery blushes, you will not like that whatsoever. But here is the swatch of theBalm's Hot Mama. So now moving on to lip products, I have 4 color categories. I have Neon Peach, Bright Pink, Coral, and Coral Berry. So starting with the Neon Peach, because that is a category I have the fewest of. And the first one I have is what I'm wearing on my lips today. This is ColourPop's Lippie Stick in Fiesta, which came out in their summer collection. And this is a cream finish. And here's a swatch of ColourPop's Fiesta. My next Neon Peach would be a MAC Patent Polish in the shade Go for Girly. This was a limited edition product. Check your CCOs to see if you are able to find it. And here's a swatch of MAC's Patent Polish and Go for Girly. Lastly, in the Neon Peach category, I have a lip gloss. This is the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in the shade Sorbet, which is the bottom swatch. So now moving on to my bright pinks, I have 5 different lippies in this category. The first one I have is MAC Sheen Supreme Lipstick in Playtime, which is a beautiful bright blue tone pink. It is this top pink swatch right here. I love the Sheen Supreme formulas. This shade is not that unique. It was a limited edition shade, but I have still seen it at the CCO, but like I said, not a unique shade. You can find this in other lines, but the Sheen Supreme lipsticks are some of my favorite because they are very pigmented and long lasting while still being really comfortable formula. Next, I have another MAC Patent Polish. This is in the shade Fearless, which is swatched right here. Again, this is a bit more of a sheer color. Next, I have another MAC Sheen Supreme from a limited edition collection, and this is much more of a purpley pink, and that would be the 3rd pink swatch right here. Next, I have a Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm in Showy, which is this 4th pink swatch. And I love the formula of these, a really nice, comfortable, creamy matte. Lastly, I have a Maybelline Vivids lipstick in the shade Fuchsia Flash, which is a cream finish. It is my last pink swatch here. And this is a dupe from MAC's Candy Yum Yum, except Candy Yum Yum is a matte finish and the Maybelline is a cream finish, which I actually like better. I find it much more comfortable. So now moving on to corals. All of these colors are quite similar. You definitely do not need them all, so maybe just pick your shade depending on the formula and price point of your preference. So first, starting out, I have a Maybelline Vivids lipstick in the shade Shocking Coral, which is this first swatch right here. The Maybelline Vivids line is incredible. They have 10 shades that are all nice bright neons. They all are a cream formula, which is really comfortable to wear. Next, I have another limited edition MAC Sheen Supreme. This is in the shade Phosphorescent, which is the 2nd swatch right here. A really nice papaya coral shade. Then I have another MAC Sheen Supreme in the shade Pleasure Fruit, which was also a limited edition shade, which is swatched right here. As you can see, it is a little bit deeper than the phosphorescent shade. Next, I have a ColourPop Lippie Stick in the shade Rocket, which has a satin finish, and that is this 4th swatch right here, a little bit brighter than the other shades. The next one I have is another Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm in the shade Unapologetic, which is this swatch right here. The last 3 products I have are all glosses. First one I have is a NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Peaches and Cream, which is this swatch right here, which does have a bit more of a peachy pink undertone to it, and I really love that. It's a beautiful shade. Then we have the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cupcake, which is a really bright, warm tone pink lip gloss, which we have swatched right here. You can definitely see the difference between Peaches and Cream and Cupcake. And lastly, we have a NYX Intense Butter Gloss in the shade Napoleon, which is this bottom swatch right here, which is deeper than the other 2 and also not as bright. Lastly, I have my 3 Coral Berry Lippies. The first one is another ColourPop lippy stick. This is in the shade Juicy, which is a hyper glossy formula, which I have swatched right here. And then I have yet another limited edition MAC Sheen Supreme in the shade Phenomenal, which is swatched right in the middle. And lastly, I have another Maybelline Vivids lipstick in the shade Vivid Rose, which is the last swatch right here. So lastly, we have nail polish, and I have quite a few color categories. The first one I have is Neon Peach. Like I mentioned, I'm obsessed with Neon Peach. I had 3 lip products, the MAC Sideshow U Blush, and then these 3 nail polishes that are the perfect representation of Neon Peach. The first one is a Wet n Wild Wild Shine polish in the shade Ferris Wheel Romance, which was limited edition from summer 2014. The next shade I have is a true Neon Peach, and this is Color Club's East Austin. And my last Neon Peach is from Model's Own. This came out in the summer 2015 collection, and it is the name Beach Bag. So then I have 5 coral nail polishes. The first one is L'Oreal's Sweet Nectar, which is what I'm wearing on my nails today. This actually came out in L'Oreal's Spring 2015 collection, but I really love this polish for the summertime. The next one I have is a Milani Color Statement nail polish in the shade Corrupted Coral. Then we have my all-time favorite coral, which is Zoya's Wendy. Much more of a pink coral, which I find most flattering and definitely is my preference. Then we have the quintessential coral polish, and this is China Glaze Flip Flop Fantasy. This is a neon polish, which means it has a matte finish. It doesn't last the longest on my nails, but it does make your hands look super tan, and it is a really fun color to have. And my last one is a Model's Own polish from the summer 2015 collection in the color Shades. Next I have 2 neon pink polishes. The first one is a L'Oreal polish in Acid Watermelon, which came out in a collection last year, I believe. I ordered mine off of eBay. A really nice bright neon pink. That one does also dry down to a matte finish. And my other pink shade is from the Milani Color Statement line in the shade Bombshell. This does give a really similar effect to Acid Watermelon. It isn't as white pink, it isn't as light and bright, but it also will not have a matte finish. So if you are looking for a shade like Acid Watermelon but cannot find it, and you also do not want a matte finish, check out Milani Bombshell. So then I do have one purple polish from the summertime. This is Color Club's Wicker Park, which is a bright pinky purple. So then I have 4 blues to rock in the summertime. First is a Wet n Wild Wild Shine polish in the shade Chambray Showers, which is a limited edition color from summer 2014. The next blue I have is Estee in the Cabana, and this was part of a limited edition collection, but they did add this to their permanent line, and this is one of the few Estees that has a really great formula. Next we have China Glaze Capacity to See Beyond, which came out in a limited edition Giver collection last year. And my last blue is the cult classic Sally Hansen Extreme Wear in Pacific Blue. This is the OG formula and a beautiful bright blue. It has a great opaque cream finish. So then I have 3 nail polishes in the green category, and the first one is China Glaze Aquadelic, which is a beautiful aqua shade. My most used polish. It is really nice and opaque. The next one I have is OPI My Dog Sled is a Hybrid, which came out in a collection last summer, but I believe the entire collection was made permanent. It was their Nordic collection, but I love this one. It is a beautiful bright minty green. And the last one I have is from Berry M. This is a jelly polish in the shade Green Berry, which is so unique to my collection and definitely a must-have. I have 1 gold polish, and this is OPI Glitzerland, which is a nice sandy gold. It isn't a bright brassy yellow gold, so I think that this looks beautiful. It reminds me of the beach and the sand, so I really love this one. It is beautiful to wear on its own or to pair with any of these other shades, especially the blues and the greens. So definitely love OPI's Glitzerland, and this is part of their permanent collection. And then I do have 1 collection overall to recommend to you guys, and that is the Maybelline Color Show Bleached Neons. Now, I believe this came out either last summer or the summer before. I purchased my entire set off of Amazon. I actually checked recently and they are completely sold out, so hopefully you can just keep checking back on Amazon and eBay and find these, and if you were lucky enough to pick them up, bust them out for the summertime. So these polish are not a straight pastel or a straight neon. They are a mix between the two, which you think would make them show up as just a normal color, but it doesn't. They can still have both neon and pastel in them, which is like an incredible phenomenon to me. So I will show you the 6 colors I have. There is a 7th, which is a yellow, which I'm not interested in. I have Coral Heat, Pink Punch, Day Glow Teal, Ultraviolet, Lime Accent, and Bleached and Peat. So guys, I know this was incredibly long. I am so sorry, but I had a million and one products to talk about, and these are all of my summer makeup must-haves. I will have everything listed and linked down below. Make sure you check out there for more details, and please let me know in a comment down below what are your summer makeup must-haves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.